Hey everyone, this is Johnny from Wine Night In. Cheers, welcome, and today we're going to be answering the question, how is wine made and what is the difference in process between a white wine and a red wine? Look, if you're new, as always, pour yourself a nice glass. I'm drinking a Pinot Noir. This is from the Casablanca Valley in Chile. It's absolutely unreal and is featured in our lineup at the moment for our wine tasting sessions. Pour yourself a glass, enjoy, sit back, and for the next sort of 7.5 to 8 minutes, watch this Wally make a fool out of himself on your laptop. Cheers. That is lovely. So, we're making white wine or red wine from these black grapes. Surely I've gone insane, right? How can you make white wine from a black grape like that? If you've got some in the fridge, then follow along with me. And what I want you to do is get the grape and peel the skin from the grape. And what that will reveal when you take the skin off is two things. That will reveal that you've got red skin, but a greeny, sort of translucent flesh. That tells us that the colour comes from the skin, not the flesh. Now what I want you to do is eat the grape without the skin. Now what I want you to do is eat the grape but without the skin. Okay. Sugary, fresh, lovely, fruity, obviously, really, really nice. Now what I want you to do is eat the skin on its own. Okay. Less nice, right? That is bitter, not a great flavour, very bitter, and also dries your mouth out. And we'll talk about why that is in a bit. Okay, so on to our Blue Peter style experiment. This may get messy, it may not work. Let's see. So imagine this on a much bigger scale, an industrial scale, where your winemaker at the vineyard has picked their grapes and they are they're breaking their grapes up, because ultimately we want to break these grapes up to get the juice out of, and we're making white wine here for a second. We're going to push the grape through the sieve, we're going to get the juice come through, and we're going to keep the skin of the grape. And this, imagine a giant press that is crushing the grapes and basically passing it through a giant sieve where it keeps the skin to one side but all of the juice falls through. And that, if we add that to, and here's one I made earlier, Blue Peter, I told you, if we add that, we should get a version, and we'll compare it in a minute, we should get a version of a greeny, translucent-y white wine sort of colour. So obviously that's had no contact from the skin at all. The grape has been pressed, crushed and pressed, the juice has fallen through, and the skin has been discarded. Now, if we compare that to, and here is another Blue Peter take, here is one I made earlier. This is a bowl of a bunch of grapes that I crushed, and I kept the skin, as you can see here, hopefully. I've kept the skin in the fermentation process. Now, what that should mean is that the colour from the skin has bled into the fruit juice, into the grape juice, and means that we've got a colour of red to it, and it has worked. I can see that we've got a redness to the juice, and that has all come from, look at that, it's worked, I've done a thing. That has all come from the skin of the grape. And if we compare the two, there it is, look. If we compare the two, one is greeny, translucently, kind of colourless, and one is a deep red. And that is how we make white wine and red wine. Now, what does that mean that we think about when we're drinking white wine or red wine? Remember back to when we were eating the skin of the grape and it dried out our mouth. Now, thinking about that, that is what we call tannin. Now, the tannin is that kind of, that mouth feel that we get, that drying sensation that we get in our mouth. We don't talk about tannin. Tannin is not part of our vocabulary when we're talking about a white wine. Why? Because the skin hasn't come in contact to the grape juice during the fermentation process. But with red wine like this, we do talk about tannin, because the same as the colour that has bled into the juice, the tannin has also come into the juice because of the skin contact. The tannin is from the skin. We know that because we ate the skin, tannin, skin. White wine, we don't talk about tannin at all. Red wine, we do. And that's why red wines, we talk about the complexity of red wine, and tannin makes up a big part of that. Let's drink. God damn, that is good. Hopefully, what that means is you can now take away and understand how white wine and how red wine is made, and why we talk about tannins with red wine and why we don't with white. Hopefully you're still with me. I really hope that that has been fun to watch and something that you can take away, and maybe a fun fact that you can talk about with your friends at your next dinner party or soiree. Who knows? I've got to get cleared up before the missus gets home, and I'm probably going to sit and finish this bottle on my own because it is really good. It's too good to share. If you like what you've seen, hopefully you have, subscribe, like, and check us out on winenightin.co.uk. And if you're in the south of England, then book a wine tasting experience with us, and you will have an amazing time celebrating wine with your friends and your family. Until then, I'll see you next Friday. Thank you very much. Cheers, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. See ya.